Leave it in the comments if you know that song. I don't know how well you heard it. I don't have an amp right now for my guitar, so I just played it raw. um, I don't know if the mic picked it up, but let me know if you could hear that, and if you know the song, leave it in the comments. Hope you enjoyed that. Somebody asked me to play a little guitar, so I did. Once I get an amp, I'll play a little bit more here and there. Just maybe do an intro to some videos with some guitar. But anyways, hope you're doing well. Denny back here. It is probably the latest I've ever done a video at the time of this recording. It's about midnight. Living after midnight. Another good song. I am just here, and I was just watching some videos and on YouTube. I thought I'd change gears a little bit from the last couple of videos. Of course, it all ties together with the middle-age life, middle-age bachelor stuff. I was talking about just life in general, being stuck in a rut and being a little bit lost and confused, and didn't, without purpose or direction is what a lot of us are feeling. With no direction home. Sorry, I like to insert famous lyrics if you haven't noticed yet, if you've been following the channel. It's actually a habit I have, like even just bullshitting with my friends and stuff. Like if I'll say a sentence that happens to be a lyric from a song, I'll sing the lyric to make my point, or to inject some humor in the conversation. Ginger ale today. So on today's topic, I will start by saying that we live in a world where you can now have a relationship with somebody, beginning, middle, and end, and actually never, ever have to meet that person in real life. Isn't that amazing when you think about that? Now, I'm not, obviously probably the majority of relationships are not like that, but because of technology and the internet and the advent a while back of dating apps, dating sites, those situations actually occur. And it's really amazing when you break it down like that that's actually happening. You never even meet the person. And that's how prevalent, and that's how much of an influence on our world and our culture dating apps have had. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about that today. And if you are a middle-aged bachelor and using dating apps or thinking about it, I will give my opinion and maybe my advice, and then maybe kind of a prediction of where this all might be heading. So here we go. There is another quote that is it's kind of famous. Well, it's pretty old. I think it came from the 40s, from actress Mae West. I believe she said something like, "It's far better to be looked over than to be overlooked." And actually David Lee Roth kind of brought that quote and that phrase back. He said something to the effect of, "I'd rather be looked over than overlooked any day, baby," or something like that. So yeah, that statement there applies to probably a lot of men on dating apps. The idea of being looked over is the vast majority of us guys are getting looked over. Or sorry, I got that wrong. Are being overlooked. Not only a small percentage of guys are being looked over, being checked out and being sought after. And that's just the reality of online dating for men. Women get the vast majority of DMs and messages and attention. Attention being, the main thing. So it's just kind of structured that way because now with dating apps you have very far-reaching capacity. If you're a woman, you have before you only had whatever choices were, whatever was available within your environment. Now you're going way outside of your environment. Hundreds and thousands of potential suitors, men that you have access to. And you would think it would work the same way for men. Now we don't have to settle for the girl that's in our school or college or in our neighborhood or workplace. We could reach out and we could have access to thousands of ladies, but it actually doesn't work that way. It's completely skewed. And why that is, I actually don't know exactly or fully why it is. It's just, females get the attention. Men are usually the ones pursuing, and we have more. We have to prove ourselves more, I guess. And women have to look good, and that's their value and what they contribute to the sexual marketplace. As with guys, it is appearance and also status, popularity, your ability to provide, all these traits that women look for, height and I don't know what you call it. Just stuff that's sought after as, being high sexual market value. I mean, there's a million videos you can look at it on this topic. So I'm not extremely knowledgeable. I just thought I'd share what I do know because I don't really use dating apps that very often. I dabbled in it here and there. There was a period of time where I really did give it a good try and mostly didn't have any success, but had a little bit of success, I guess. But that was probably at a time when it was a little bit easier. We're talking like 7-8 years ago is the last time I've had profiles up on different sites, and then I tried some of the swipe apps like Tinder, and that was just a disaster. I didn't get any success at all with that. But there were some other sites that I've had a little bit of luck, and I've hooked up and had some dates here and there, sporadically, and it's you can count them on one hand, ironically. Well, I've had a handful of dates. Handful. Anyways, so it's just something that I think about and something that's talked about a lot online, and people make tons of TikTok videos about it. And it seems like both sexes are feeling let down and disappointed by what's happening on there, because it seems like a lot of the men that are in the top 10-20% that are having success are not committing, and you have 80% of the women that I guess feel entitled to the top 20. So there's a real huge disconnect there with just the numbers, if you want to look at dating as a numbers game. It's like both, I guess the only guys that are, or the only people that are enjoying dating apps or that they work for are a very small percentage of men that are getting most of the dates. And the women are feeling uh, let down and frustrated as well, because a lot of these guys are not, like I say, not looking for commitment. They just want to pump and dump, whatever you call it. And these guys are also competing for kind of the top women, the very most attractive young women. So they're, sometimes the top 20% guys feel like they are settling if they are not dating the most absolute beautiful women. So there's competition amongst the top as well. And it's just a sad kind of reality that that's going on, this competition and all this surface level stuff that isn't really, like it used to be. We used to have romance, and that still might exist. I don't know, but it just seems like dating now is transactional, and it's looking at surface level things and what boxes we check. Is he this? Is he that? What does he have going for him? And then there's the social pressure aspect, that the women want approval from their friend group and their peer group. And that's interesting. That's changed, because that wasn't as big of a deal before. Like in past generations, if a woman was dating a guy that she really liked and they both fell in love, there generally wasn't a huge female peer group, and there definitely wasn't social media. So now I think women are more conscious of who they date based on maybe how others view them with the guy. It's like the guy is almost part of their world, and almost like maybe accessory is not the best word, but maybe sometimes you can look at it that way. If you don't measure up to certain standards, she's worried that her friends might disapprove, or her all her followers on social media may disapprove. Oh, she could do better, right? And out of that grows this entitlement to go for stuff that maybe is unrealistic, right? There's no way that most of us are going to look like Brad Pitt and have six figures and a six pack and provide a lavish lifestyle. That's very, very rare to be a guy like that. And a guy like that's going to have options and a very extreme amount of abundance to choose from. So if you're a woman that's aiming really high, you may be disappointed. You may not reach that high. And same with men that are struggling in the opposite direction and just trying to find somebody that's attractive. But those attractive women have options like you wouldn't believe. And all this is because of dating apps and because of social media and the internet. And you could argue that's not been good for society, because it's left so many men out in the cold, and it's left women frustrated. And it's amazing. It's like you see these women on TikTok or just in life, in person, and it's like they go on these apps and these sites and they may get hundreds of messages, tons and tons of guys interested, but yet there they are, they're complaining about being single, in their 30s or whatever. They can't find a guy. And it's like, so the 200 messages you got in just the past, let's even be conservative, let's say 3 months, about 200 different men hit you up, and none of them worked out. None of those guys are good enough. You have to look at just the reality of it. It's quite astonishing that you could have single girls. Obviously, if she really, if she what is it swipe right, you accept the guy, or match or whatever on Tinder. I think, yeah, if you swiped right on um, a few of these guys, I'm sure you get what you want essentially. But no, there's, I guess, is other stuff going on that needs to be studied on a deeper level to find out why that is. But I've maybe just scratched the surface. Now, as for me, I've noticed that these also the problem with these apps is I think they've turned into, obviously their business model is to get as many users and to get them to sign up. Now they need to do that to entice men, because men are going to be primarily using these apps. I think men outnumber the women by a large margin on most of them, depending on what region of the world you're in and what city. But I noticed that the app Bumble, for example, which is one that where the women message the guy first, apparently. So just using this as an example, I read an article that said that they had lost a lot of revenue, that their stock has kind of crashed and collapsed, and it was because of probably user dissatisfaction, frustration. I think people are jumping ship is what I'm thinking, and the reason they are is people are starting to catch on that these tend to be a waste of time for most men, and you go on there with the expectation that you're going to get some dates, and most guys are not getting any dates. I mean, if you went to a car dealership that you found advertised online, you went over there and they had only 3 cars in the entire lot that were available, and then you go to buy one and they say, well, sorry, these are reserved for an exclusive group of people, you can't buy these. Well, you're probably not going to go to the dealership, that dealership anymore. There'd be no point. And people are starting to catch on. It's like going to a donut shop to buy donuts, and there's no donuts. The shelves are bare. It's all empty. So that's what it is. And I actually did try Bumble like a few years ago, and then I retried it again actually a few months ago, and I kind of caught on to I don't know if you can maybe call it a scam, but it's what they do is they really entice you to join, and then if you want features, if you want more potential for more matches, you have to buy their upgrades. So I think it's free to sign up, but they give you very limited access. Some profiles will pop up that you can look at, and I think it's you can hit like or whatever it is so that they can see you, but they only allow like 10 profiles to do that in, and then as soon as you hit your 10 or whatever it was, they say, oh, if you want to reach out to more people, you have to upgrade, and it's like $27 a month, and then there's other tiers that go up and up. And Tinder is even worse. They have I read they have 3 different tiers. They goes up to you can spend thousands of dollars a year on this app. And what they do, I think, to entice men is once you're on there, I think they push the most attractive women's profiles up to the front, so that when you sign up for free and you're looking on the first ones that pop up, it kind of gives you hope. They're like, wow, there's a lot of single attractive women on these apps. And then once your limit or whatever swipes or likes you have runs out and you go to upgrade, I think then you get the rest of the you get the profiles that are online. And even with that, there's there's no guarantee of success. They just want you to keep coming back and keep subscribing, or keep paying the fees to be on the app, to be visible to people. Yeah, and then there's other like charges if you want to boost your profile or be more visible. It's more money, and it's all that. It seems like just kind of a shady business. I remember years ago when they just had like regular dating sites like Plenty of Fish and Match.com. It was quite simple. It was either free or it was a monthly flat fee that you would pay, and you could message as many people as you want, and people could see your profile. And now it's gotten all like algorithmic, and it's all like based on subscription fees and upsells and all that. It's just become a complete scam and a waste of time. And now, especially, most of you guys are bachelors in their 30s and 40s like myself. And I'd say, yeah, it probably even gets worse, like for us on these apps. Now, I'm not saying there's no women on there that are available that are in the same age group. There probably is, but it just gets even like the choice we have, and kind of there's I'm not even sure how to say it. The options are even more limited as you get older, I think, on there. If in your late 20s, early 30s, you're kind of prime, to be sought after, and you're going to get a large range. You're going to get like the younger women from their early 20s all the way probably to women in their 40s that are going to be interested in you, whether it's for a hookup or date or whatever. Your market value is high when you're in your late 20s to your mid 30s, I would say. There's exceptions to the rule. I mean, some guys get better with age, and I happen to look a lot younger. So the problem is, the age shows on the dating app, so that can be disqualifying. If a woman's in her 20s, she might put 35 as the limit, or 40 or whatever, and on some of them you can't even message. It automatically gets blocked if you don't fit within their age group or whatever. So yeah, that's another advantage of meeting women in real life versus dating apps. You don't have these parameters and these these limits set, these restrictions, as that's a good way to say it, restrictions. So yeah, it's interesting. I would, being in middle age and dating apps, I don't really recommend wasting time on them, because although, yeah, you could get lucky, you may have some success. It's a low percentage play. And of course, this is assuming you're still looking for some dating experience or some romance or some success with women. So, if you're not interested in that, then definitely you don't want to be on dating apps, because it can, be a distraction, and you could be checking results, and you could be swiping, and you could be messaging, and it could all be for nothing. So yeah, my recommendation is to not go on them, and to save your dollars and save your energy, redirect it into other things, into maybe improving your life in other ways. And then maybe it's easier to meet somebody in real life when you maybe improve in some other ways. If you're into developing yourself, and maybe you've started a business, you're trying to get some success, or you're still climbing the corporate ladder, or you're trying to get in better shape, you got some physical goals, some fitness goals, you're trying to achieve, it's best to focus on all that stuff, and then maybe you meet someone special in the process, and it'll be much better. You'll have the chemistry right off the bat, or you won't. As with dating apps, you got this extra step where you meet them online, and first you have to jump through the hoops and pass all the physical requirements just to get the date in the first place. And then once you're there, there's other factors, and it's a damper on romance and spontaneity, and just lacks depth and chemistry. And it's all about what you can offer as a guy on a surface level. And the guys who have that up front have better luck with online dating, and guys who don't, that maybe some men, it requires some deeper looking into them and really learning who they are to that brings out their most attractive qualities. It's a lot of guys, it's not on the surface, it's in their depth that they can provide a lot of value to a partner. That's an important thing to keep in mind, and that takes time to, you have to actually get to know the person. You can't just be like, he doesn't make enough money, or is not tall enough, or whatever, and just automatically disqualifying. So I urge people to look for some depth, and really go for people in real life, and find maybe some classes or some groups that you can join, or maybe get more active with a social circle that, if you have guy friends that are single that still like to go out and have fun and go to the bar once in a while, maybe tag along with them, and they might know some women, and you can kind of connect that way through a web of real life social networks, and just try that. Or maybe you work in a big place and get lucky and meet someone at work, or maybe if you see someone you like that's in like a giant office setting or a big company with hundreds of people, you can strike up a conversation, or just see how it goes and go from there. Or just maybe if you see someone you really like in real life, just go for it. Maybe do the old cold approach in real life. And maybe that's where it's shifting back towards. You never know. I mean, maybe women are kind of craving that old school thing where a guy just comes up and says hi, and maybe everyone, both genders, or all genders, all 176 genders are sick of online dating, and it's going to be a thing of the past, and there might be a resurgence of the old traditional ways. You never know. But anyways, that's my thoughts on that. I'm not an online dating expert, and I probably messed up some of the facts on what Bumble is, or what Tinder, or what sites are now. But it just doesn't seem worth it. Seems like a bit of a scam, for lack of a better term. And I haven't had much luck with it overall, just sporadic here and there, like I said. So that's all I have to say on that topic for now. I'll have to do more research into it, see what the numbers are. I'll watch some more videos, maybe educate myself on this, because it is a big thing, and this is a bachelor channel, and I should know more about it. So and if you're watching this and it's already Good Friday, I just want to say I hope you have a pleasant Good Friday, and recognize the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and the sacrifice he's made for us. Again, I'm not a super religious person, but we do recognize Easter in my family, and we and we pray and we have a good meal in Jesus' name. And yeah, just thought, I don't want to forget that for all you Christians and Catholics out there. So yeah, once again, God bless you. May God bless and protect your family this Easter weekend, and have fun out there. Again, dating apps aren't the be all end all. There's other things you can do, and just live your life, keep your head up, and march on, and we will all be fine. Thanks again. Till the next one. Peace. Denny out.